There are several companies out here capitalizing off of your personal information and you don't even know about them. Let me explain. I'm sure you know about the popular three: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, but there are many others. And those others identify themselves as consumer reporting agencies. And the sole purpose of these companies is to collect information, personal data about the average consumer, you and I. They collect personal information about our credit histories, our employment, our rental histories, our medical histories, when we apply for loans, when we are written prescriptions, you name it. They collect all of this information. They're collecting this information from various sources, and unfortunately, the authenticity or validity has not been verified by you. So therefore, they have all this information about you in a database, and much of it can be false or fake. And that's where I come in. That's where this video comes in. I'm going to tell you about these nationwide credit reporting agencies or consumer reporting agencies that have collected your information and disseminated it. My goal is to walk you through each agency that you probably have not heard of and show you how to get a free copy of the report that's on record, give you the option to correct it and fact check it, or show you how to opt out to make sure they're not providing ongoing access to your private information. I've already released one video in this series that was kind of long. It included one parent company with 3 subsidiaries who each collect your information and disseminate it. Now, when I took that approach, I felt like there were so many steps with these companies, and different companies have different steps, that it's probably best for me to break it up per agency. So moving forward, I will review each agency in each video, so it's not long, drawn out, or confusing to you. Now that I have provided that preliminary review, let's get into our walkthrough of today's agency. So today we're looking at IntelliCorp, and their website is intellicorp.net/marketing/applicant inquiries. And they provide employment background checks. Now, you want to get a copy of your report, but we want to know what's in the report, correct? So we're going to scroll over products to give you an idea of all of the information that they provide in these background employment checks. So adverse action, COVID-19, civil credit, criminal records, driving records, drug screening, employment, educational, and professional references, the I-9 and E-Verify, international searches, medical and social security, and address history. Wow. So let's scroll down. How do I request a copy of my background check report? If you are a subject of a background check report prepared by IntelliCorp, or if you wish to access records that IntelliCorp may have on file for you, you are entitled to a free copy of the report. To request a copy of the report, you may complete the online request form here. This is a link, or download a copy of the request form and return it by US mail, email, or fax. So here are all your options here. And you have your choice, and obviously everybody will go to the online version because that's the quickest way. Now let's scroll down. How do I dispute my background check report? If you do not recognize information in your background check report or think an item may be incorrect, you may request a reinvestigation of the disputed information. Upon receipt of the properly submitted dispute, IntelliCorp has 30 calendar days to conduct a reinvestigation. To submit a request, complete the following form and return it to us by mail, email, or fax. Here are the forms you must click and download and fill out. Let's scroll down. What do I do if the reinvestigation does not resolve my dispute? That happens when you find some information in your report that's invalid. They'll come back and tell you it's valid. So now what do you do? Because they're telling you that it's right when you know it's not. So you're entitled to file a brief statement setting forth the nature of the dispute. To file a statement, you must complete the following consumer request document. That's right here. Please limit your statement to 100 words or less and provide a clear summary of your dispute. Unless there are reasonable grounds to believe that your dispute statement is frivolous or irrelevant, we shall include the provided statement in any future report that contains the disputed information. So they're going to provide this dispute to whoever accesses your information in the future. If you have questions, you can contact the compliance unit. There's so many steps you have to take to secure your information. This is almost just ridiculous. Now, if they're not cooperating, you can report them to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And all of their information is here. You go to this website and you follow the steps. Now for expungements, here's the process here. In case you have a criminal record, you deal with this process here and all the forms that they provide. Okay, while we're on this page, I need to bring your attention to the upper left-hand corner of the screen where it says IntelliCorp. It's a Cisive company. So we're going to head over to that website. Okay, we're on the Cisive website, which is at cisive.com. We are on their privacy and cookies policy page. And I need to point out a few things. Now, Cisive is the DBA, doing business as. So Cisive is really the Carco group, okay? The Carco group is who has your information, okay? So we're like drilling down. Now let's move forward. Cisive affiliates include Driver IQ, IntelliCorp, which we just reviewed, and PreCheck, okay? So all of these different companies that fall under Cisive have access to your information. Now, something else I need to point out here, solutions. I'm going to drop the solutions. Under solutions, if you notice, under solutions, it says, I'm looking for, look at the middle row. I'm looking for background checks, drug testing. I want to bring your attention to ongoing screening. And the reason why that's important, because everything that you do in life every day, they're updating this report as you do it. Every footprint on the internet, they're updating this report. So the report is just not a bunch of information that they have collected some time ago. It's up to date, literally. They're using AI, okay? All right. So let's scroll down. What types of information is collected? You know, you can read that. I'm just pointing out the things that are very important to you because we're going to talk about opting out. How is my information used? You want to read this, definitely. And what types of choices do I have about your collection and use of personal information that I provided to you through the website? Now you're going to have to provide your information through the website to see what's in your report. So they're still collecting information, right? Okay. So to opt out, it's buried here. They don't make this easy. Here's the opt-out line. It's bullet number 3. You can email them right here, or you can call them. And their phone number is right there. So you can request corrections to your information or opt out through this email and through this phone number. So those are things I wanted to point out to you. But Cisive and its affiliates also have your information. So these are other companies. They're recording your driving and your PreCheck.